friends, hope you have seen the last session. So now we shall move forward. Let's come to exercise number 15. Question number 1 is complete the following statements. Probability of an event E plus probability of event not E, that means E bar. So as we have learnt earlier, probability of E and probability of E bar means sum of probabilities. We have learned earlier sum of probability is equal to 1. So here we have been given two events. So event E and event E bar. So probability of both events shall be, sum of both the probability shall be 1. Second, the probability of event that cannot happen is the probability of event that cannot happen is always 0. And such event is also known as impossible event. We learned in the last session the probability that cannot happen, the event that cannot be happen has the probability always 0 and it is also known as impossible event. Third one, the probability of an event that is certain to happen मीन्स जो इवेंट होगा, जो सर्टेन उसके चांसेस होंगे, उसको क्या बोले, उसकी प्रोबेबिलिटी क्या होगी 1. और वो इवेंट को क्या बोलेंगे श्योर इवेंट. We have learned all these concepts in last session. The sum of probability of all elementary events of an experiment is 1. This also we learned earlier. Elementary events means those events whose possible outcomes are only 1. So the probability of or the sum of probability of elementary event shall be 1. The last one, the probability of an event is greater than or equal to and less than or equal to. As we learned earlier, probability shall never exceed 1 or shall never decrease 0. So the probability shall always be between 0 and 1. Got it? Let's move to second question. Which of the following experiment have equally likely outcomes? First, a driver attempts to start a car. The car starts or does not start. So we have been given a driver is attempting to start a car, but the car may start or may not start. So what would be the answer? It would be a equally likely outcome or not equally likely outcome. As we are not given information about how old the car is or does the car contain fuel or not. So the answer would be not equally likely outcome. Second, a player attempts to shoot a basketball. She or he shoots or misses to shoot. Means a player is trying to shoot a basketball. But here also we are given incomplete information. We are not given how many times a player is making an attempt to shoot. So this also would be a not equally likely outcome. Third one, a trial is made to answer a true false question. The answer is right or wrong. Here we are given, we have to answer a question that may be right or wrong. So we are known about possible outcomes. Either the answer may be right or it may be wrong. So this experiment is called, or it might have equally likely outcome. As it has two outcomes, two possible outcomes, that is answer may be right or it may be wrong. Fourth one, a baby is born, it is a boy or a girl. We are already given two outcomes, it may be a boy or it may be a girl. So this also will become equally likely outcome. Got it? Let's move to third question. Why is tossing a coin considered to be a fair way of deciding which team should get the ball at the time of a football game? So in this question we have to explain why tossing of a coin is used while starting a football game, or which team should get a ball while starting a football game. So we are aware that coin has only two sides. If it is tossed, it will give result either head or tail. It has no chances of falling on a edge. So if we are tossing a coin, the tossing of coin is a fair because either it will give a head or a tail, and it is equally likely outcome. So both the teams can get a chance who shall take a ball for beginning a basketball. So we shall write, as we know that if a coin is tossed, it would give a result of head or tail. Means two possible outcomes. It has no chances. It has no chances of falling on one side of edge. So it is considered as a fair way of deciding for both the teams. Got it? Next question is, which of the following cannot be the probability of an event? As we have already learned that the probability cannot exceed 1 or cannot decrease 0. So by solving this, first one is given 2 by 3. If we divide it, we would get answer in decimal, that is 0.61. Second one is minus 1.5. Third one is 15 by 100. So we would get 0.15. And the last one is already given in decimal, 0.7. So as we have already learned that probability cannot be negative. So from the following, which one would not be a probability? That would be answer B. Let's move to fifth. If PE is 0.05, what is the probability of not E? Means probability of event E is given, that is 0.05. Now we are given what, now we are asked what would be the probability of E bar or E dash. So this kind of question is regarding complementary event. We had learned the formula. Complementary event means 1 minus, as we are given here, probability of event E. So 1 minus not E means E bar or E dash. So 1 minus 0.05. We would get the complementary event, that is what would be the probability of event E bar. So our answer would be 0.95. This sum was regarding complementary event. Let's move to sixth question. A bag contains lemon flavored candies only. Manali takes out only one candy without looking into the bag. What is the probability that she takes out an orange flavored candy? Second, a lemon flavored candy. First, we are given that the bag is full of lemon candies. First question is we have to find out the probability of an orange flavor candy. So there is no orange flavor candy in a bag, so the probability would be 0. Probability for orange flavor candy is 0, as it is impossible event. Second, a lemon flavored candy. So as we are given the bag is full of lemon flavored candies, so the probability for lemon flavor candy is 1, as we know the bag is full of lemon flavor candy, so we would get it. So it is known as sure event. Quickly look all the questions till now, then we shall move to question number 7. So now let's start with question number 7. It is given that in a group of 3 students, the probability of 2 students having the same birthday is 0.992. What is the probability that the 2 students have the same birthdays? So as we learned earlier, the sum of probability of 2 events shall be 1. So probability of 2 students having same birthday plus probability of 2 students not having same birthday will be 1. So what we are asked, we have to find the probability of the 2 students having the same birthday. So we would find it. We are given the above probability that the 2 students who does not have same birthday, what probability is given? And the sum of both probabilities would be 1. So from this we can find, we have to find it by complementary event. You would have written probability of A event, probability of A dash event, or you could solve it by this way. So what would be the answer? Probability of 2 students having same birthday would be 0.008. Let's move to question 8. A bag contains 3 red balls and 5 black balls. A ball is drawn at a random from the bag. What is the probability that the ball drawn is red and it is not red? So first we'll find out the total outcomes. A bag has 3 red balls and 5 black balls, means total possible outcomes 3 3 red balls and 5 black balls, means total 8 balls. That is the total possible outcomes. Now first we have to find what is the probability that the ball is drawn is red. We would take probability of event A. So we have 3 red balls. 3, that is possible outcomes of event A, which is given 3, and total outcome are 8. So the probability that the ball drawn is red is 3 by 8. Now we could find out it by taking probability of event B for not red. Not red means the other balls are black balls. So possible outcome of event B is 5, and total outcomes we have got 8. So the ball drawn is not a red one, is probability is 5 by 8, or we could have find it by complementary event, that is A bar or A dash, or you could have find by solving it by taking another event, or you could solve it by taking a complementary event type. Let's move to question 9. A box contains 5 red marbles, 8 white marbles and 4 green marbles. One marble is taken out of the box at random. What is the probability that the marble taken out will be red, white, not green? So first we shall take out total possible outcomes. That is 5 plus 8 plus 4. That is 17 marbles. Now first we have to find out what is the probability that the marble taken out is red. We would take probability of event A. Total possible outcomes are given, that are 17, and we have 5 red marbles. So possible red marbles that can be taken out are 5. So the probability that the marble taken out would be a red is 5 by 17. Second, probability of event B, that is for white marble. Again we are given total outcome 17 marbles that we have got. White marbles in question we have mentioned there are 8 white marbles. So the possible outcomes of event B, that what would be the probability of white marbles taken out, are 8. So the probability of event B would be 8 by 17. Now third, we have to find the probability that the marble taken out is not green. So either the marble would be red or white. We do not have to find the probability that the marble taken out would be green. So left out are red and white. Probability of event C. Total outcomes we are given. We don't want that the marble should be green one. So left out are 5 red marbles plus white marbles. This could be the 2. So total are 13 marbles. If we don't want green one, we could find the other one, that is the probability of the event would be 13 by 17. Have a quick review of all the 3 sums. Let's move to question number 11. 10th one would be solved afterwards. Gopi buys a fish from a shop for his aquarium. The shopkeeper takes out one fish at random from tank containing 5 male fish and 8 female fish. What is the probability that the fish taken out is a male fish? So first we would find out total probabilities. Total possible outcomes. Here it is given 5 male fish and 8 female fish. So 13 fish, total possible outcomes. Now we have to find the probability that the fish taken out is male fish. So we would take probability of event E. So possible outcome of event E are, how many male fish are given? 5. So possible outcome of event E is 5. And the total outcomes given is 13. So the probability that the fish taken out randomly is a male fish is 5 by 13. Let's move to question 12. A game of chance consists of spinning an arrow which comes to rest pointing at one of the numbers, that is 1 to 8 numbers are given, and these are equally likely outcomes. What is the probability that it will point 8, that is first one, second, and what would be the probability that it would point an odd number, Third, what would be the probability that the number pointed is the number greater than 2? And fourth one, what would be the probability that a number pointed would be less than 9? So first, let's start with total possible outcomes. Total possible outcomes are 8 as numbers are given 1 to 8. First, we would start with what would be the probability that the number point out at 8. So we would take it probability of event A. Total outcomes are given 8. Now how many chances are there that the number pointed is it, as we have given that we would spin it 1. So 1 to 8. Number of time 8 comes, the chances are 1. So probability of A event would be 1 by 8. Second, what are the chances that the number pointed out is an odd number? We would take it as probability of B event. Total outcomes are already given. Possible outcomes of event B. How many odd numbers are there? 1, 2, 3, 5, odd numbers. 1, 3, 5 and 7. So 4 odd numbers. So the probability of getting a number that is odd one is 4 by 8, or we could reduce it by 1 by 2. Third one, we would take probability of event C. A number greater than 2. Greater than 2 is, it is not given greater than equal to 2. So we would take the numbers greater than 2. They are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 6 numbers. Total possible outcomes are given 8. A number greater than 2. So chances are there are 6 numbers which are greater than 2. It would be 6. We would reduce it by 3:4. These are possible outcomes of event C. A number less than 9. What is the probability that the number is less than 9? All the given numbers are less than 9. So 1 to 8, all the numbers are less than 9, which are possible outcome of event D. Total possible outcomes are given 8. What is the probability that the number is less than 9? So all the 8 numbers can be appeared. So the probability would be 1. Let's move on to question number 13. A die is thrown once. Find the probability of getting a prime number. Second, a number lying between 2 and 6. And third one, an odd number. First, we would find out, as usual, total possible outcomes. If a dice is thrown, single dice is thrown, total possible outcomes are 6. First we are given, we would have to find out a probability that the number come is a prime number. So 6 numbers, probability of A event, total outcomes are given 6. Now possible outcome of event A, which are the prime number? 2, 3 and 5. So 3 prime numbers, 3 are the possible outcomes of event A and total outcomes are 6. This get reduced to 1 by 2. Second is probability of event E, a number lying between 2 and 6. So 2 and 6 means 2 and 6 are not included. 3, 4 and 5, a number lying between 2 and 6. Here it is not given equal to 2 and equal to 6. So number between 2 and 6 are 2 and 6 are excluded. So 3, 4 and 5 total outcomes are already given. Again the possible outcomes of event B comes to 3. It get reduced to 1 by 2. Third one, a number is an odd number. A number given is an odd number. So again we would take probability of event C. Again the total possible outcomes are 6. Odd number would be 1, 3 and 5. Odd numbers are 1, 3 and 5. So again it comes to 3 possible outcomes of event C. Again it get reduced to 1 by 2. Got it? Quickly look above sums. So moving forward to question number 14. One card is drawn from a well shuffled deck of 52 cards. Find the probability of getting first a king of red color, second a face card, third a red face card, fourth a jack of hearts, fifth a spade, and sixth the queen of diamonds. As you can look over here, these are called face cards. Total cards are 52 cards. These all are face cards. This is jack, queen and king. Other ones are different shapes. This one are clubs. This one are spades. This one are hearts. And this one are diamonds. All this written A are A's. As we are given, total possible outcomes are 52. Total possible outcomes 52. First, probability of event A, a king of red color. We could look here, king of red color are 2. That is, one is of hearts and other one is diamond. So out of 52, king of red color, only 2 cards are available. So possible outcome of A event is 2. 52 cards are given. King of red color. We found it 2 cards are available of red color. So the probability would be 2 by 52. Probability of event B. A face card. As we all know, 52 cards are available. Total possible outcomes are 52. Now we are given that the probability that the card should be face card. How many face cards are available? We are not given about color or shapes. We need total face cards. So 4 different shapes and 3 face cards in each. So total 12. Possible outcome of B event is 12. So 12 by 52. Third one, probability of event C. You are given the probability of getting a red face card. Red face cards are of hearts and diamonds. So 3 of hearts and 3 of diamonds. So total possible outcomes of red face cards are 6. Possible outcome of event C is 6. 3 of hearts and 3 of diamonds. So 6 by 52 would be the probability. What is the probability that the card is the Jack of Hearts? Probability we would take as the probability of event D. Jack of Hearts. Jack of Hearts only one card. Total outcome is given 52. We need Jack of Hearts. Jack of Hearts here is given 1. Only one available. So the probability would be 1 by 52. Fifth one. We need that the probability of card is a spade. Total 52 cards. What is the probability that the cards are spade? Total spade cards are 13. We are not given a particular number or a particular face card. So total number of spade cards are 13. Possible outcomes of event E are 13. Total outcomes 52. We could reduce it to 1 by 4. We could reduce the above one if possible. The Queen of Diamonds. Total 52 cards available. We would take it as probability of event F. Queen of Diamonds. Only one available. So the possible outcomes of event E is 1 by 52. Got it? Have a look at this sum. Let's move to question number 15. 5 cards, the 10, Jack, Queen, King and Ace of Diamonds are well shuffled with their face downwards. One card is then picked up at random. What is the probability that the card is Queen? We are given 5 cards are shuffled. So total possible outcomes are 5. First, probability of event E. What is the probability that the card is Queen? Only once we are given Queen. So, possible outcome of event E is 1. Total outcomes are 5. Possible outcome is 1. 1 by 5. Second, if the queen is drawn and put aside, what is the probability the second card picked is an ace or a queen? We would take it as probability of D. As we are given if queen is drawn and put aside, so now total outcomes are 4. First it was 5. 1 is removed, queen is put aside. So now 4 total outcomes. Total outcomes are 4. First I need an ace. So only 1. 1 by 4. Second is queen. But queen is already removed. So it would be an impossible event. So the probability would be 0. It can't be a queen as there are 5 cards. Only one queen is available and we have already put it aside. So now the probability that the second card would be queen is not possible. So it is 0. It is known as impossible event. Let's move to question number 16. 12 defective pens are accidentally mixed with 132 good ones. It is not possible to just look at a pen and tell whether or not it is defective. One pen is taken out at random from this lot. Determine the probability that the pen taken out is good one. First we would find out total possible outcomes. 132 are good one and 12 are defective. So total 144 pens. Now we are given one pen taken out at random from this lot is that the probability of the pen taken out should be good one. We would take probability of event E. Total possible outcomes are given 144. Now the pen is good one. So good pens are given 132. So possible outcomes of event E shall be 132 divided by 144, which get reduced to 11 by 12. Got it? This was a simple one. 17. A lot of 20 bulbs contain 4 defective ones. One bulb is drawn at random from the lot. What is the probability that this bulb is defective? First, total possible outcome is given. 20 bulbs are there in a lot. Probability of event A. We have to find what is the probability that one bulb drawn is defective. So 20 bulbs are given. Defective ones are 4. We have to find the probability that it is defective. So possible outcomes of event A are 4. Four defective are given, which get reduced to 1 by 5. So the probability that the bulb drawn from the lot was 1 by 5. Second, we are given, we would take probability of event B. Suppose the bulb drawn in first one is not defective and is not replaced. Now one bulb is drawn at random from the rest. What is the probability that the bulb is not defective? Look, first we are given 20 bulbs in a lot. 4 are defective. So left out are 16. 16 are non-defective. But we are given that in the first one, if the bulb drawn out was non-defective, so 16 minus 1, which comes to 15. So non-defective are 15. We have to find what is the probability that the bulb drawn out is not defective. So now first we were given 20 bulbs. 20 bulbs were given. But now it is said that the first time we shuffled or we drawn out a bulb, we could not find that it was a defective one or it could get replaced. So it was a non-defective one. So the first time we have done 20. As we reduce the numerator by 1, we shall reduce the denominator by 1. We should reduce the denominator by 1, which comes to 19. And the numerator 15 by 19. As we were told, the first one was not defective and not replaced. So the upper one got reduced by 1. So it became 15 and the second one as a new denominator became 19. Moving forward to question number 18. A box contains 90 discs which are numbered from 1 to 90. If one disc is drawn at random from the box, find the probability that it bears a 2-digit number, a perfect square, a number divisible by 5. So, total possible outcomes are 90. Probability of A event, that the number should be a 2-digit number. From 1 to 90, 2-digit number starts with 10. So 1 to 9 are single digit number. Possible outcomes of event A. Total are 90. Single digit number are 1 to 9. So 9 digits are eliminated. So possible outcomes of event A comes to 81. So the probability would be 81 by 90. This is reduced to 9 by 10. Probability of event B. that it would be a perfect square number. Total outcomes are given 90. Possible outcomes of event B, perfect square. You would start with 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 numbers. So the probability would get reduced to 1 by 10. Third one, probability of event C. A number divisible by 5. Again, total outcomes are 90. Possible outcomes of event C. Number divisible by 5. As we have already learned in earlier standard, a number is divisible by 5 when the unit digit is 0 or 5. So it would start by 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85 and 90. So the numbers total comes to 1, 2, 3, 18. As up to 90 only we have to get a number which is divisible by 5. So total comes to 18. Possible outcomes of event C are 18. This get reduced to 1 by 5. Let's move on to question number 19. A child has a die whose 6 faces shows the letter as given below: A, B, C, D, E, again A. The die is thrown once. What is the probability of getting the first one is A and the second one is D? Simple. Total possible outcome 6. 6 digits are given. First, what is the probability that the die gives the result A? We would take probability of event D. Total possible outcomes are 6. Possible outcome of event E is, there are 2 chances, as 2 letters A twice A is given. So 2 by 6, which gets reduced to 1 by 3. For D, we would take probability of event D. Total possible outcomes as it is given 6. Possible outcomes of event D is only once. So 1 chance. Probability of getting D is 1 by 6. 20 sum we would do it later. Let's move on to 21st. A lot consists of 144 ball pens, out of which 20 are defective and the others are good. Noori will buy a pen if it is good, but will not buy a pen if it is defective. The shopkeeper draws one pen at random and gives it to her. What is the probability that she will buy it? First, total possible outcomes are 144 ball pens. Out of that 20 are defective and left one is 125 are good. So we are given that she would buy the pen if the pen is a good one. She would not buy if it is a defective one. So the chances that she will buy a pen if it is good one is, we should take probability of event A. Total possible outcomes are 144. Good pens are 124. So probability of A1 comes to 124 divided by 144. Now she will not buy if it is a defective one. So what would be the probability? We could solve it by complementary event. This would be the answer, or you could directly take 20 by 1. So now let's start with question number 22. Refer to example 13. Event someone dies probability. Complete the following. A student argues that there are 11 possible outcomes of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Therefore, each of them has the probability of 1 by 11. Do you agree with this argument? Justify your answer. So here we are given, we have to refer example 13, which was regarding that two dice are thrown simultaneously. So total possible outcomes are 6 into 6 as 2 dice are thrown, so 36. Now first, probability that dice thrown gets 2. We are told that a student arguments that possible outcomes from 2 to 12 are 1 by 11. So we shall start with 2. Probability that a dice thrown twice we get 2 is 1 by 11. We shall check. Here I have made a table regarding 2 dice thrown. So probability of getting 2 by throwing 2 dice are 1. Only one probability. 1 plus 1 2. So 1 by 36. 1 by 11 is not possible. Let's check second one. Probability that the number we get by throwing 2 dice is 3. So 1 plus 2 3 and 2 plus 1 3. Two possibilities. So here we can write 2 by 36. First we will fill up the table. Now what is the probability of getting 4 when 2 dice are thrown? So 1, 2 and 3. 3 by 36. What is the probability that we get 5? 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 5. So 1 plus 4 5, 2 plus 3 5, 3 plus 2 5, 4 plus 1 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 probabilities. 4 by 36. Now we want 6. So 1 plus 5 6, 2 plus 4 6, 3 plus 3 6, 4 plus 2 6, 5 plus 1 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 by 36. Now let's move to 7. 1 plus 6 7, 2 plus 5 7, 3 plus 4 7, 4 plus 3 7, 5 plus 2 7, 6 plus 1 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many? 6 by 36. Now let's move to 8. 3 plus 5 8, 4 plus 4 8, 5 plus 3 8, 6 plus 2 8. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, sorry, and 5. 2 by 6. Already given 5 by 36. Now let's move to 9. If we throw 2 dice, we shall get 9. So the probability would be 3 plus 6 9, 4 plus 5 9, 5 plus 4 9 and 6 plus 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 by 36. 10. We need 10. 1, 4 plus 6 10, 5 plus 5 10, 2, 6 plus 4 10, 3 by 36. We need 11. 5 plus 6 11, 6 plus 5 11, 2. So 2 by 36. And for 12, 6 plus 6 12, 1 by 36. So from the given table we can see no one of the number or each of the number does not get the probability 1 by 11. So the argument done by student is Wrong, as we proved by filling up the table. Let's move to question number 23. A game consists of tossing a coin, a 1 rupee coin 3 times, and noting its outcomes each time. Hanif wins if all the tosses give the same result, that is, that there should be 3 heads and 3 tails. Calculate the probability that Hanif will lose this game. So we are given that 1 rupee coin is tossed 3 times, and every time we are noting the outcome. So Hanif will only win if the results are same. Either there would be 3 heads or 3 tails. If all the outcomes are different, then he would lose the game. So we shall first write all the possible outcomes, total possible outcomes. Total possible outcomes. If 3 coins are tossed together, so the outcomes would be 3 times head, 3 times tail, 2 times head and 1 tail, 2 times tails and 1 head, or 1 head, tail, head, or head, tail, tail. Just a second. Or tail, tail, head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And HT. How can you find that the answer is correct? A coin is tossed, so we have to do the head or tail. We have tossed it 3 times, so to the power 3, 8. So we could check 8 outcomes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I am given a coin is tossed 2 times, so outcomes are 2, tossed 2 times, so 4. So then there would be 4 outcomes. 4 outcomes would be head, head, tail, 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 head, head, tail. 4 outcomes. Here we are given it is tossed 3 times, so we need 8 outcomes. Now here it is given Hanif wins only if it is the same result, means either 3 heads or 3 tails, and loses otherwise, means other 6 outcomes, if others of outcomes are got, then Hanif will lose. We have to find out the probability of Hanif loses the game. So we would take probability of A event. So 3 heads and 3 tails, if he gets 3 heads and 3 tails, he would win the game. So we are not relevant with this too. So how many outcomes are left? 6 outcomes. Total outcomes are 8 as we got. Now how many outcomes come that he would lose the game? 6 outcomes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because it is given if he gets same result he would win, so we took this 2 as eliminated. Rest are not the same results, so 6 we could reduce it to 3 by 4. So the probability that Hanif will lose the game is 3 by 4. And probability if it is asked what would be the probability of winning, so it would be 2 by 8. It would get reduced to 1 by 4. Have a look at the sum. So now let's start with question number 24. A die is thrown twice. What is the probability that 5 will not come either time? 5 will come at least once. Throwing a dice twice and throwing two dice simultaneously is treated as same experiment. This is not relevant. So again we are given two dice are thrown. Total possible outcome 36. 6 into 6. Now we are given first 5 will not come either time. 5 will come at least once. So first we shall take 5 will come at least once, then from the remaining we shall calculate the 5 that the 5 will not come up either time, or we shall take 5 will not come either time or calculate the later one. So let's start with first probability of A event. As we are already given, we have total possible outcomes are 36. Let's move to the above table which we have made. That it is given we don't need 5 either time. When two dice are thrown, they are telling that they don't need 5 in any of the dice. So let's see here, they are not asking regarding total, they are asking that if two dice are thrown, that means in one die take for example 2 and in other die there is 4, so none of the dice shows the result of 5, so they need 5 shall not come. So we are given 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20. All these are either 5, so will not take it. 21 22 23 24 and 25. You could see the fifth column and fifth row is not taken because it shows the result of either 5. We are told we don't want either 5. So rest of the numbers we took are total 25. We left out the numbers giving result 5 once. Any one die showing the result of 5 are left out, others are taken. So we found out possible outcomes of event A are 25. You got the table? We are asked that we don't want the number giving 5, any of the dice giving 5. So we left out the numbers, the fifth row and fifth column which are showing the numbers either 5. This one, see 5 and 1, 5, 5 and 2, 5. 1 and 5, 2 and 5, all the numbers are giving once 5. So we left out as we are asked to find out the probability of the numbers not showing either 5. So we made a count, we got the result that there are 25 outcomes which are not showing the results that they are getting on any one dice 5. So what is the probability that 5 will not come either time, means any one time 5 will not come? 25 by 36. The other one we could find out by complementary event, or we could take it by finding out from the table. 36 total outcomes. Now we shall take the numbers that shows 5 at least once. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 and 11. 11 outcomes. 11 outcome shows the results that they will appear or they will get 5 once, at least once. So 11 by 36. Or you could find it by complementary event. Total outcomes are 36. Complementary event means other than event A. So as we all know, probability is 1. Sum of probability is 1. 1 minus not getting 5. Not getting 5 means the remaining answer would be getting 5 at least once. We would get 11 by 36. Same answer you can find it out by both ways, by complementary even method or just by looking out from the table. Have a look at the sum. Let's move to 25th question. Which of the following arguments are correct and which are not correct? Give reasons for your answer. If two coins are tossed simultaneously, there are three possible outcomes: two heads, two tails, or one of each. Therefore, each of the outcomes, the probability is 1 by 3. So, as we learned earlier, if two coins are tossed simultaneously, two heads and tails, so total we get 4 outcomes, that are head and head, tail or tail, head and tail, tail and head. 4 outcomes, but here it is given it gets 3 outcomes. The result comes 3 possible outcomes, which is wrong. So if a coin is tossed, if two coins are tossed simultaneously, 4 possible outcomes are result, not 3. So the given statement is incorrect. Second one, if a die is thrown, there are two possible outcomes, an odd number or an even number. Therefore, the probability of getting an odd number is 1 by 2. So, as we know, if the dice is thrown, we get the number single dice is thrown 1 to 6. So, there are odd number and even number. The probability of getting odd number is 1 by 2 is correct. Odd numbers are 1, 3 and 5. Probability of getting an odd number is, total possible outcomes are 6. Odd numbers are 1, 2, 3, 3 numbers, odd number reduced to 1 by 2. So the answer is correct, 1 by 2. If it would be for even number, probability for even number, same answer. 2, 4 and 6 are even number, 3 possible outcomes, total outcome 6, 1 by 2. So the given statement is correct. Got it? Two sums are left, one I think it's 20 and the other one still. So we would continue to solve this in the next session. Till now, revise all the sums and illustrations we have done. We shall conduct doubt session 2. So till that, revise whole concept, exercise sums and the illustration we did. So if you have any doubts, please note it down so we can resolve your doubts in the next session.